Let's look at the moments when it faced BTRs and BMPs on the battlefield. Russian forces begin a standard assault operation. An armored personnel carrier packed with over 15 soldiers advances to capture Ukrainian trenches. As soon as it arrives, the troops dismount and sprint toward the defense lines. What they don't know is that a Ukrainian Bradley is already lying in wait, its gun fixed on the target. The instant the Russian APC enters view, the Bradley opens fire. The Bushmaster cannon shreds through the vehicle's armor, igniting the engine and bringing it to a halt. A clean, precise strike, flawless execution by the Ukrainian crew.
Пацани, давайте мені зворотній зв'язок, я не розумію, що у вас відбувається.
Moments later, two more Russian BTRs move in, loaded with over 20 soldiers, pressing their attack through a narrow corridor. They break past a minefield and head straight for Ukrainian defenses. But on the other side, two Bradleys are positioned for an ambush. As the Russian convoy enters range, both Ukrainian vehicles unleash a synchronized storm of fire. Within seconds, the lead BTR erupts in flames, followed by the second. The assault collapses almost instantly. Two enemy vehicles completely annihilated.
Пацани, старайтесь сильно там не зациклюватися і продовжувати, бо вже починають працювати.
On their return, the Ukrainian Bradleys encounter a Russian anti-tank guided missile team. One missile hits the front of a Bradley, shaking the vehicle violently, but the armor absorbs the impact. Inside, the soldiers record the aftermath, showing that despite the heavy damage, no one inside is injured. The vehicle held up perfectly.
Друже, постарайтеся дочистити, і все, і далі діємо по плану, надаємо собі допомогу і куримо.
In another encounter, a Russian BTR charges recklessly across an open field, firing sporadically in all directions. The Ukrainian crew spots it and reacts with lightning speed. The BTR races straight toward the Bradley, both vehicles trading fire at close range. The Ukrainian gunners land multiple hits, and as they cross paths only a few meters apart, the Russian vehicle begins to smoke. Seconds later, it's disabled, the attack crushed almost as fast as it began. Later, another Russian BTR attempts to deploy infantry close to Ukrainian trenches. The Bradley identifies the target and launches a TOW missile. The projectile lands just short, but the Russians press forward, releasing their soldiers and trying to retreat. They don't realize a second Bradley is already repositioning. It locks onto the retreating vehicle and fires again, this time a direct hit. The explosion tears through the BTR, and moments later, its ammunition detonates, leaving nothing but burning wreckage across the field.
Мінуснули якихось?
По 4-5-0.
Красавчик, лучший.
Nearby, two Russian scouts are setting up a sniper nest to gather intel. Their plan ends abruptly when a Bradley moves in to erase the entire position. However, the Russians are ready this time. An anti-tank group has already set up. A guided missile streaks across the sky and smashes directly into the Bradley. The blast is enormous. Flames engulf the vehicle, and it looks completely destroyed. But once again, the armor proves its worth. A few seconds later, the Bradley re-emerges through the smoke, still operational, still advancing toward its objective. When it finally reaches striking distance, the crew locks on the Russian coordinates and fires a TOW missile. The hit is devastating. The explosion levels the enemy position, followed by a burst from the Bushmaster cannon to finish the job. Not long after, Ukrainian reconnaissance reports a new Russian push. A T-64 tank and a Bradley are dispatched to reclaim the position. The Bradley leads the charge, tearing through the first line of defense with sustained fire. Behind it, the T-64 moves in and targets enemy bunkers, firing high-explosive shells into fortified spots. Together, they reclaim one position after another. Russian artillery eventually receives the coordinates and launches counter-fire. One shell lands dangerously close, sending fragments across the field, but the Bradley keeps moving, unfazed. After completing their mission and neutralizing the Russian presence, both the tank and the Bradley withdraw safely from the area. Battered, but victorious. In the end, the story of the Bradley in Ukraine becomes one of resilience and adaptability. Against tanks, mortars, drones, and anti-tank missiles, it proves again and again that mobility and armor, combined with Ukrainian courage, can overcome overwhelming odds. In modern warfare, the Bradley stands as more than an armored vehicle. It's a symbol of resilience and precision. Ukraine has turned machines like the Bradley and T-64 into extensions of its own strategy: fast, adaptive, and intelligent. Each mission proves that victory doesn't belong to the side with more tanks, but to the one that uses them smarter. Russia depends on sheer numbers. Ukraine depends on timing, coordination, and courage. The Bradley's armor, its speed, and its crew's determination have reshaped the battlefield, turning defense into momentum and survival into victory. For Ukraine, every Bradley that returns from battle carries more than steel. It carries the story of a nation that refuses to break.